The story begins with a group of people staring at their member. Then their leader says, "You're fired." This shocks him. In a flashback, we see some animals running towards the guy. Turns out his name is Rain, a beast tamer who can communicate and make contracts with animals. He works with the group named Hero Party, but can't fight monsters with them because beast tamers aren't good at fighting, yet he does his best to support the party. Back in the present, Rain is still confused, and he assumes they are just pranking him, but the leader bangs the table saying, "I'm serious." Hearing that, he takes a look at other members and their reactions show they want him out as well, so he demands to know why. One of them, Lean, moves closer to him. Then, she replies, "It's because you're useless and keep holding us back." The leader adds that they have to protect him all the time since he can't fight by himself. All he does is carry their luggage with animals he tamed, which is worthless to the party. Now, Rian realizes they are mad at him because he's too weak to fight monsters with them, and since they want to defeat the Demon King, they don't have time to babysit his weak ass. Finally, the leader asks him to drop the gear they gave him and leave the party for good. Rain at this point has nothing to say. He drops the gear as requested and leaves the room with no hope of returning. Next, out in the city, while some village kids play around, Rian sits under a tree looking up into the sky like a finished man. He recalls when he was hurt. His party members still bully him, calling him useless, who is only good for running errands and taming ordinary beasts. Meanwhile, he thinks that they were hard on him because they wanted him to grow, but now he doubts they ever cared for him from the start. He worries about what to do next now that he has nothing. Just then, the kids interrupt his thought and ask him to tame animals for them. To make them happy, he goes outside and tames a bird flying by. When it lands, he tells it to greet the kids, and it bows to them. Rian releases the bird to go, and the kids ask why it leaves so soon. He explains that he only made a temporary contract with the bird. Impressed, one kid says he would like to be a beast tamer like him. Rian replies, "But you wanted to be a hero." He responds that the hero party are rude to commoners like them, making Rian wonder if everyone thought of his party that way. But then, the kids say Rian is a nice guy, unlike other members, which makes Rian feel happy. Again, the kids say they want to become adventurers and make lots of money. Hearing that, Rian thinks the life of an adventurer is as free as a bird, and he realizes he can make money using his beast taming skill as one. Following the kids' idea, Rian visits the Adventurer Guild where he meets a receptionist. Firstly, he asks her to explain to him what being an adventurer is, as he only knows a little about them. Impressed by his honesty, the receptionist explains in detail everything he needs to know about being an adventurer. Rian thanks her, after which she says he needs to go on an adventurer's test trial first. She asks what his class is, and he replies, "I'm a beast tamer," thinking he's not strong enough. He warns him to be careful during his trial. Now, Rian is out in the forest for the trial, hiding and aiming at some goblins. Earlier, the receptionist told him he needed to go on the trial to prove his skills as an adventurer, and he is tasked with killing 10 goblins and collecting herbs. Back in the forest, Rian charges at the goblins unaware and starts slaying them until he kills 10, then collects their rune stones as a proof. He releases a rabbit he tamed which helps him locate the goblins also. After gathering the rune stones, he hears a scream nearby and runs to check, only to see a killer tiger about to devour a pretty cat girl. Worried for her, he charges at the monster, and then jumps to stab him. His knife breaks without harming him, but he stops him from hurting the girl. Annoyed, the monster moves towards Rain. Rain then screams, "Hey, miss, run now." Then, he faces the giant tiger with no weapon to buy her time to escape. However, he is surprised to see the girl stands up and doesn't run. He amazingly watches as she flies, so high with the only strength left in her, and with her tiny legs she lands a thunderous blow on the tiger, causing a great explosion. Rian wonders who this strong being is. Looking closely at her, he realizes she's one of the ultimate species, which include powerful beings like dragons and fairies, and her kind is a rare one known as cat spirit. After defeating the monster, she becomes exhausted, and Rian quickly runs over to catch her from falling. Worried, Rian asks what's wrong, and in her dying spirit, she answers, "I'm hungry." Rian gives her some food he brought for his journey. He thinks having the cat spirit around will be a big advantage since they're rare. They can't use magic, but they have amazing athletic abilities. After eating, she thanks her lifesaver and reveals she hasn't eaten or drink for days, already seeing her grandparents in heaven, waving her over. Rian feels pity for her. Now, she decides to introduce herself, saying, "I'm Kanade." Rian also says his name and reveals he's on a trial journey. She says, I would like you to call me Kanade instead of Miss. Rian agrees, saying, call me Rian too. She sits beside him and says, I'm happy you saved me. Then, Rian asks why she's in the forest. She replies, I've been traveling since there are only a few of us left in the mountains, so it got boring to me. She adds that fate must have brought them together. She demands that Rian tells her more about him, and he tells her his time with the hero party, which he never told anyone else because he still feels bad about it. But here he is, telling Kanade everything. Kanade gets angry. The party kicks Rian out despite being a nice person. Rian asks, are you angry on my behalf? And she replies, yes of course, and becomes speechless. Rian smiles and says he is okay now, as he feels he is truly a burden to the party. Kanade says that she isn't angry anymore either. Rian pats her head, saying thank you, and she feels good about it. Suddenly, she says, listen, Rain, you are not weak like the party claims. Rian replies, but I'm just a beast tamer. She says, it's an incredible gift as he can even tame her, judging by how she felt his energy when they first met. She further says, only a few people can tame cat spirits, and Rian might just be one of them. Rian doubts he could ever do that, but Kanade encourages him and says, just give it a try. Rian thinks taming a cat spirit like her will be a great help in his adventurous journey. Rian thinks for a while and concludes he isn't trying to use her power for his gain. He just wants to be closer to her, so he agrees to tame her. He performs a kind of ritual that causes a magic ring to appear on his palm, and then casts the taming spell on Kanade. He says his name and chants the contract to form a bond between them which will connect their soul, so he can have her power. He asks her to say her name to establish the contract, which she does. The spell encircles her, and a magic ring also appears on her palm to confirm that the contract has been sealed. When Rian says they are contracted now, Kanade stares at the magic ring, excited to know she is now bound with her lifesaver. Excited too, Rian stretches his hand to him, and they shake hands while Kanade drags him playfully. With that, Rian's hope comes alive again, having a rare ultimate species as his adventure partner. Back in the Adventurer Guild, Rian delivers the requirements for an adventurer. Receptionist congratulates him, saying now you're a frank adventurer. She gives him an adventurer's card for identification and a reward of 50 copper coins, assuring him that his reward will increase as he ranks up. She wishes him the best and says he will get promoted soon. After their conversation, Rian thinks he'll need lodgings to operate out of. He returns to Kanade, who impatiently asks if he's now an adventurer. He replies, yes, and I'll be accepting jobs soon. In response, she agrees and shouted, let's go. Just then, one adventurer comes, staring at Kanade. Rian asks what he wanted, but he ignores him and asks Kanade to have a drink instead of hanging around this boring guy. That gets Kanade angry, and she tells him Rian tamed her while Rian informs him he is a beast tamer. But the adventurer didn't believe them. He says, a small boy like you can't tame such a unique being. Kanade replies, Rian is an amazing beast tamer and way stronger than you. The adventurer then suggests they prove who is stronger, and whoever wins takes Kanade. The adventurer further pokes him by saying for a cat spirit tamer, I will not be a challenge for you. Rian thinks that if he avoids this now, he will likely come after Kanade in the future. Not wanting that to happen, he accepted the challenge. The adventurer mocks Rain, saying, don't cry if I end up winning, and you lose your cat spirit to me. The game starts, and Rian wins so fast, like he uses magic. Kanade declares Rian as the winner. A receptionist joins the scene and apologizes, saying the adventurer is a troublemaker. She explains the guild is considering suspending his license already. In a serious tone, she asks, how did you make a contract with a cat spirit? Her voice scares the two, and she apologizes for that. Realizing her mistakes, she calmly says as they made a powerful partnership. Rian wonders how he won so easily. Kanade tells him that the contract has amplified his strength as the master, meaning Rian has possessed the strength of a cat spirit. He finds that unbelievable since he'd never seen anyone contract with a unique being. Kanade says, I am happy earlier when you take up the challenge to protect me. She adds, now, let's get to work. On the field, as they gather herbs, Kanade gets frustrated cause she expects better jobs. Rian says we are still F rank, and we can only do basic jobs for now. Hearing that, Kanade promises to work harder, but Rian already tame rabbits to find him the medicinal herbs, which amazes Kanade. She feels bad cause she wants to help too, but the rabbit has taken all the credit. Rian says let's report to the guild now, but she asks him to wait. She hears someone scream, and so they decide to check that out. It's some adventurer named Ebon Fangs wanting to attack an old man. Kanade and Rian watch them from afar, and she tells him, the Ebon Fangs are bandits that does awful things wherever they go. She proposes they get help, as this is dangerous. Rain refuses as the old man begs the bandits to spare him, and they say they can only do that if he drops his wares. Pitying the old man, Rain suggests to save him. Kanade agrees, and he instructs her to save the old man while he jumps among them. The two approach the bandits and fight them. Kanade leaves to save the old man, and Rian fights the bandits to protect them. While at it, Kanade sees Rian as no ordinary beast tamer. However, she worries, what if he can't handle the enormous power? What if it have a negative impact on his mind and causes him to self-destruct? She feels she should be the one fighting on the front line. Even though Rian is an excellent fighter, seeing Rian can handle it, she admires him as he fights. Her heart pounding and face turns red. After defeating the bandits, Rian asks if the old man is fine, and Kanade says yes. Noticing her red face, he asks what's wrong. She dismisses him. Rian says he learnt fighting without weapons, not to hurt animals he tamed. The old man thanks them for saving his life. Rian, seeing he's a merchant, asks about his guards. The old man said that the ones he hired ran away when they saw the bandits, and he's worried the bandits will attack if they hear he defeated their men. Rian then says, we should capture all of them, which shocks the two. As they walk away, Kanade asks if he meant what he says, and he replies yes, if the people might get into danger. She says they are over 100, but he assures her he has a plan. A tamed rabbit shows them the bandits' hideout, which gets Kanade frustrated again, as she wants to be the first to find it. She cries, saying she has been a useless partner. Rain tries to reassure her that she's been a huge help. Then, she says, I'm only joking, so tell me your plans. He says it starts. He will form a temporary contract with this bee which has paralytic sting for up to 12 hours. Kanade asks how he is able to tame an insect. He replies that he learnt being an insect tamer as well back at home, though he's yet to master it. Kanade is amazed by his talent, feeling Rian never ceases to amaze her. Rian says he plans to send the bees after the bandits, while Kanade goes to the town to get reinforcements. Kanade gets sad as she couldn't be of much help again, which is again her joke. She asks what type of reinforcements she should bring. He explains, knights are government officials who protect the land. Kanade tells Rain to be careful, and he promises to run away if it gets dangerous. Kanade leaves to find help, and the bee comes with more of his friends, and he tames them all. Turns out the hero party are the guards, the old merchant hired that ran away. Then, they blame each other for taking up the job, and the purple-haired lady blames their beast tamer for running away too. In response, he says, I am just a beast tamer, not a fighter. Then, she says our former beast tamer would fight on the front lines if he's here. They blame him for taming just one squirrel to scout the area instead of 10 or 20. Surprised, the tamer says it's not possible. Whereas Rain, they call useless tame hundreds of bees at a time to attack the bandits without being affected. The hero party ladies recall how Rain used to tame dozens of animals at once so easily. Then, purple-haired calls this one useless and a liar. She threatens him to take responsibility for the hero's party failure, saying they will kill and resurrect him with their spells until he agrees. He runs away, agreeing to comply with their terms. Then, they decide to look for the other members. In the hideouts, the bandits have been knocked down by the bees. Rain untame the bees, saying, good job. At that moment, Kanade also joins the scene with adventurers, and they capture the bandits. The adventurers' leader thanks them and says they will take it from there. Rian asks of the knight, and they say they are busy. Rian pats Kanade, saying thank you for bringing them so quickly. Just when they think it is over, they hear a sound and the cave shakes. They are amazed to see some king lizards come out of the cell. Rian wonders, what are these C-ranked monsters doing here? One bandit replies that they keep them for this kind of occasion, and he orders them to attack. Rian counters their attack, and Kanade also joins him. Rian then instructs the adventurers to take the bandit away while they handle the king lizards. While at it, Rian thinks he would have run away in such a situation when he was with the hero's party. But now with Kanade by his side, he can confront the fierce monsters with no fear. After a while, the adventurers come to check on them, and they walk out of the cave uninjured. They praise them for their incredible skills. Rian thanks Kanade for being by his side because now, he feels he can do anything. Kanade feels happy hearing that. They are in an inn room and Kanade feels excited that she will be sleeping on a nice bed, but Rian looks terrified and agitated as the innkeeper wishes them good luck. He remembers that after defeating all the bandits, they went to the Adventurers Guild and got the news that he had been promoted to E rank. They also received money as a reward, which they spent on buying new equipment and a luxurious dinner. But at the inn, only one room was left, and the innkeeper pushed them to share a room, and he isn't comfortable sleeping in the same room as Kanade, so he wants to sleep outside. But she stops him as they have already paid for a week. He confesses that he can't sleep in the same room with her, but she says that it might be weird and that she doesn't mind since he's a nice guy, and he warns her not to believe people so quickly, not even him, as they've just met. Disappointed, she clarifies that she doesn't trust anybody, but she trusts him because of his behavior, and their friendship doesn't want her friend to sleep outside. Finally, he changes his mind and agrees to share the room, which excites her. He thinks his life has changed since he met her. In the middle of the night, she wakes up staring at him and thinks that, as she belongs to a rare species, people have been after her. Some wanted to use her, but she ran away from them. Then, she met Ran, who is completely selfless. He saved her out of his goodwill and treated her like a normal girl, which makes her happy. She feels he is still hurting from being kicked out of his party and is pretending like he is not affected. She says that she wants to help him. It's been a week since they met, and they have been smoothly working through many tasks together, enjoying their life as adventurers. Back at the guild, the receptionist tells them about a hooligan attacking people on the Stride Bridge and asks for his help. He asks if it's a job for an E-ranker, and she replies that it's for all ranks and whoever wins will get a big reward. Rain accepts the job instantly. They arrive at the bridge and Kanade is amazed by its size. She asks who would attack people on this bridge. Rain failed to get any information about the culprit, as the victims refuse to talk. He feels they shouldn't let down their guard, and just then, a dragon appears in the sky and attacks them. When the dragon lands, it turns into a pretty girl, challenging them both to fight her. Surprised, Rian asks if she's the hooligan guard dog. She doesn't like that name, and says her name is Tanya, and she has been using this bridge for training. Kane tells him that dragons usually start training once they're 15. She confirms her words, saying she's been looking for someone strong she can train with, and they seem like perfect opponents. Knowing this, Rian feels scared, but Kanade assures him that she can fight her because she is also an ultimate species. Tanya announces the start of the fight and immediately charges, but he dodges her blow, which impresses her. With that, she says he passes the first test and breathes fire on them, which they manage to dodge, but Kanade's tail is on fire, and once the fire is put out, she becomes angry and charges at Tanya, hitting her hard. Rian is amazed to see the two ultimate species combating, and he decides to join. He and Kanade attack Tanya at the same time, but she stops them both and throws them into the air, and she attacks them. As the smoke clears out, they have already landed, having survived her attack. She praises their effort for escaping her attack. Rian admits that she's really strong and begins to doubt whether they can defeat her. But then, he decides to switch to his beast taming skills. He tells Kanade to buy him some time. Rian leaves and Kanade charges at Tanya. Now, the fight has gotten more serious between the two powerful beings. Tanya boasts that Kanade can't stand her attack for long. She replies that Rian has a plan, whereas he tries to recall if he saw any animals around. Just then, he finds a bird and casts a taming spell on it, ordering it to go bring more of his friends. While the two girls stare at each other, Rian calls out to Kanade to stop fighting. Then he orders the bird and its group to attack Tanya. The birds attack her repeatedly, but they don't hurt her much when the birds leave. She asks why he did it. As Rian moves closer, Tanya falls to the ground and can't move anymore. Then, Rian explains that the birds are poisonous, and since they pecked her so much, she will be paralyzed for a while. In response, Tanya accepts defeat. Hearing this, Kane jumped on Rayan and cheered. He then told Tanya she should come with them. She thought he wanted to sell her. Rayan tells her no and tells her he wants to talk and asks her to promise not to come back here. She asks what will happen if she refuses. Rayan smiles, saying he doesn't know. Disappointed by his response, Tanya said that he can do whatever he wanted. Kanade felt she was being rude to Rain, so she started tickling her. It works as she finally agrees to go with them. Later, they return to the guild and report they've defeated the guard dog and the bridge is safe now. The receptionist praises her effort and promises to reward him. Then, she notices Tanya and asks about her. She guesses that she's a dragon, but Rian says she's human cosplaying a dragon. Tanya wants to tell the truth, but Rain covers her mouth. Outside, he tells her that if she reveals her identity, people will panic, so she should keep her identity concealed. Then he says they need to find a safe place for her and asks not to terrorize people again. He asks why her victims refuse to talk. She says she doesn't know. Maybe they are ashamed to admit a girl defeated them. Tanya asks them if they are seriously not going to turn her in, to which Rayan replies only if she continues training somewhere else. Tanya doubts her training was helping her, as she couldn't defeat them, but as she needs to train, she asks if she can tag along with them. Confused, Rian asks why, and she says hanging around them will be fun. She hugs Rain, confessing that she likes him. This makes Kanade jealous. Tanya notices but denies it, saying she just doesn't like bothering her master. Rian actually wants Tanya to join their party. She reluctantly agrees, saying she's a little mean, but she likes her. Tanya turns to Rian and asks him to form a contract with her like Kanade. Now, Rian is forming a contract with a dragon. He cuts himself, drops blood on his palm, and a magic ring appears. Then some magical circles surround Tanya, and the contract is made, and the magic ring appears on her palm. She says it is nice to feel connected with Rain, but he feels his energy is drained. Then, Tanya takes a slight bow, saying, "I'm happy to work with you, master." Elsewhere, Ario's party complains that they found no monster in the woods. They remember how Rian used to help them by exploring the forest first and carrying their luggage. Ario suggests they should apologize and bring him back, and after the task is complete, they'll abandon him again. In the inn, Rian is sleeping while Kanade and Tanya argue over who should sleep in the bed. Now with Tanya on the team, the trio takes a job to exterminate slimes. Slimes are F-rank monsters, so adventurers usually ignore them until their numbers increase and start destroying farms. Kanade easily fights the slimes but complains about how sticky they are. Tanya uses her fire and asks her to leave the rest to her. Seeing the two of them getting along makes Rian happy. They continue searching for slimes but can't find any. Rian then decides to tame a bird to help them scout. He casts a taming spell on a bird and unexpectedly collapses, making the girls panic. Then, Rian speaks through the bird, revealing that he transferred part of his soul into the bird to use its body. It's one of the beast tamer's skills called assimilate. The girls are amazed by his abilities. Rian flies ahead and soon discovers a swarm of slimes. After reaching there, Tanya asks Rian to use magic against them. He says he only knows basic spells he learned long ago and isn't sure he can do it, but Tanya forces him to at least try. He reluctantly agrees. He attacks the slimes using Fireball, destroying them and leaving the rune stones behind. Thanks to his contract with Kanade and Tanya, he can use their magical power. Rian still finds it confusing. When more slimes appear, Tanya asks him to practice on them, and that she'll teach him how to control magic. He uses magic under her harsh but helpful guidance. They return to the guild, where a kid asks Kanade if the slimes will stop destroying their farms now. Rian shows them the reward, which they use to buy various items. The people were not scared because they lied that Tanya was only wearing a dragon costume. In a restaurant, Tanya and Kanade eat like they haven't eaten in days, making Rian wonder if the ultimate species have huge appetite. Rian compliments their efforts and thanks Tanya for teaching him magic. The girls ask how he learned beast taming. After some insisting, he begins that in his village, everyone is a beast tamer, including his parents, so it came naturally to him. He even learned insect taming from the villagers. His village was peaceful, but it no longer exists. Kanade apologizes for making him share something so painful, and Tanya says they only want to know him better, but he doesn't have to continue if it hurts him. He thinks that this is what friends do, so he decides to tell them more about his past. One day when his parents were busy, he went to the outskirts of the village to practice beast taming. He practiced until sunset, and on his way back he saw the sky turned red, and he rushed home only to find the village burning, destroyed by the monsters, leaving him the lone survivor. Some adventurers rescued him and took him to an inn where he worked for years to earn his keep. Eventually, he met the hero party. Their leader, Arios, needed more comrades, so he took Rain in. Rain worked hard, hoping to make a difference, only to realize they merely wanted to use him. Rian feels awkward after telling the story, but Kanade holds his hand, saying she knows he hides his pain. During their first fight with the bandits, and when he saved her, she saw that he genuinely wanted to help people, and now understands why he doesn't want anyone to suffer like he had. Her words move Rain. Tanya says that he's a kind person and she's proud to have him as her master. Rain feels these girls are the reward for all the bad experiences he endured. Tanya calls the hero party stupid for calling him useless, and Kanade says they're probably struggling without him. Rian thanks both of them but says that he's moved on and hopes they can stay this close. On their next job they confront goblins. Kanade challenges Tanya to see who can defeat more. Rian and Kanade fight several. Rian warns them to be careful, but Tanya says that no goblin can defeat her. While Tanya is killing the monsters one by one, she notices that one goblin is half dead. She moves close to it, but it grips her leg, making her fall, but she manages to kill it. Suddenly, another goblin appears behind her, but Rian steps in and takes the hit, getting a cut. Tanya gets worried, but Rian uses healing magic to heal the wound, reassuring them. They return to the guild. Rian asks Kanade where Tanya is, and she says that Tanya is feeling down and wants to be alone. Tanya sits quietly, deep in thought, when the kid approaches her, asking what she killed today. Noticing she looks sad, the kid asks if she's hurt. Tanya assures that she's fine, and the kid leaves. She feels guilty for not listening to Rain's advice and believes she disappointed him. Just then, Rain approaches and asks what's wrong. She apologizes for not listening to him, and she feels like it's her fault, but Rian simply pats her head saying he isn't angry, she just needs to be more careful. Relieved, Tanya feels better. Kanade rushes to hug her. Back at the inn, Rian asks the innkeeper for an extra room, but she refuses. Rian sleeps on the floor while the girls take the beds. Tanya still can't get over his kindness, and realizes she's developing strange feelings for him, though she denies it. The next morning, they set out again. Kanade sings while they walk. Tanya suggests Rian get weapons for himself since he's human, and he agrees. Then, they encounter the hero party. Arios says that it has been a long time. Rian decides to ignore them and keep walking away, but Arios asks him why he is treating his old friends like this. Tanya asks if they're the hero's party, and Arios is shocked to see a cat spirit and a dragon with Rain. He says that a useless Rain can't tame two ultimate species, and assumes he must be their servant, but Kanade clarifies that Rain is their master. Rain asks why they are here. Arios says that they went to the Lost Woods, and investigating it was harder than they expected since the deeper they went, the pathways changed, making it impossible for the four of them to survive without him. So they want his help finding the correct path and carrying their luggage again to complete the job. He declines. The other party members claim he should feel grateful that they're giving a useless guy like him another chance. Rian tells them to ask someone else and continue walking away. But he is stopped again by Mina, who explains that they are looking for the Shield of Truth, a relic said to defeat the Demon Lord. If they fail, monsters will overrun the world. Hearing this, Rian fears that more cities and villages will be destroyed, just like his own village. He reluctantly agrees to help. Arios says that a loser like him should have agreed from the start, and the others continue insulting him, but Kanade and Tanya tell them to wait. They say that before Rian can rejoin them, they must apologize to him first. Arios claims he already apologized moments ago. Tanya says they fired him, and now they want his help, so they should growl on their knees, and if they don't, she'll burn them, but she doesn't want to upset her master, so she'll spare them. The heroes refuse, shocked that she expects them to bow before a useless guy. Arios says that he needs to keep his pets on a tighter leash, calling them disgusting, filthy animals. Even though they look attractive and are known as the ultimate species, they are still animals. He continues insulting them and calls them his playthings. Rian suddenly punches him, knocking him to the ground. The other heroes can't believe what happened. Arios yells how he dared to hit a hero. Rian replies that he will do it again if Arios ever disrespects any of his friends. Arios demands that they should settle this with a fight. Rian agrees. Kanade is to fight Agath. She asks him to kneel, but he is fairly confident that he'll win easily. Kanade charges forward, shocking him with her incredible speed. She unleashes powerful strikes towards him, each one like a hammer, and she mocks him as he swings and misses. He activates a secret hellfire attack, trying to slice her, but she easily stops it, as if his steel is a piece of string. She says she's disappointed as his attack was nothing, and she barely felt it. He says he doesn't want to use his full potential on her yet. She says that he's weak and she's using only half of her strength. She says it's not personal if he gets hurt. He starts trembling, realizing he's completely outmatched and has no hope of winning. He wonders why she's serving a weak beast tamer. She quickly charges towards him, saying Rian is stronger than all of them, and kicks him, knocking him back and breaking a tree behind him. She freaked out if she used too much power, but says he deserved this. On the other side of the field, Tanya faces Mina and Lean. Both of them cast a magic blast at her, but with a snap of her fingers, she neutralized their attacks. They're shocked, and Tanya mocks them for being so weak. They decide to attack her together again, but she snaps and cancels their attacks easily. She uses the material canceling magic, which emits a counterattack on every incoming attack and cancels its effects. She says they have no chance of defeating her. They launch multiple spells at her, but every time she snaps and cancels their attack, draining their stamina. Mina asks her to bow down before the power of the gods, but she says that Rian can tame 1,000 beasts and maybe even tame a god one day. However, they both cast their powerful attacks. Tanya snaps again, and they collapse. Giving up, Tanya says that because they mistreated her master, they must suffer the consequences. She begins casting legendary level magic, the sky turns red, and countless magical circles appear. Tanya tells them to accept their end, realizing they are about to die. They beg for forgiveness, but she cancels the spell and says she was just messing with them. Although she'd love to burn them, she'll never upset her master. Elsewhere, Arios says Rian shouldn't have hit him and should have accepted their offer. But before he could finish the sentence, Rian rushes in and attacks, saying he's done listening. However, Arios starts attacking him with his sword. He dodges, but Arios' speed and swordsmanship give him trouble. He thinks about why he isn't afraid of Arios, a hero. He suddenly grabs Arios' hand, asking if that's all he has got, and punches him in the stomach, knocking him down. Arios wonders how he got so strong and manages to dodge an attack from Rain. Arios demands to know the source of his strength. Rian reveals that thanks to the abilities of the beasts he's tamed over time, and all his dedication has allowed him to see through his attacks. Rian kicks him using that cat spirit's strength, and Arios has no chance. Then, Arios attacks him with a lightning blast and reminds that he has the hero's power. But Arios releases a lightning bolt. Rian cancels it with Tanya's firebolt. Arios knows that it is the only magic Rian can use, so he uses other magical spells. Rian dodges all of them. However, Rian hasn't used all his powers, and when Arios runs towards him, he suddenly freezes, unable to move. Rian reveals that he can also tame insects, and while fighting he was able to locate and tame one that paralyzed Arios. Arios is defeated. Rian says that he's still pissed that he insulted his friends. Remembering how they all treated him, he prepares his fist and punches him. When the dust settles, he says that he's missed on purpose as a direct hit would have ended him. Just then, Kanade and Tanya rush in and hug him. They explore the lost woods, and Tanya asks if she can just burn the forest down. Rian panics and says they can't do that, since the relic is hidden deep inside. They look at the map but realize it's useless, as the path keeps shifting. He says it's their job to find the shield now. In a flashback, the hero party apologizes. Rian asks if they can call a truce, and Arios unwillingly agrees. He explained that the Shield of Truth is guarded by the monsters deep within the woods, and they need it to defeat the Demon King. The fate of the world is in their hands. Rian pats both Kanade and Tanya on their heads, saying they'll be fine. Back in the present, they discuss if helping the hero party is a good idea, and he pats their heads again. He says he appreciates how they worry about him, but believes they should help them defeat the Demon King. The girls agree to follow him. They still need a strategy to find the shield, and Rian uses a bird to assimilate and scout the forest from above. He finds a hidden path, returns to his body, and they begin following it for hours, only to realize they're walking in circles. Rian says that's impossible because they've been walking straight. Tanya comments that something feels wrong. Then she casts a material search spell, and the glowing magical circles guide them to a massive glowing tree. The tree is the source of the problems. It uses imaginary spells to alter the forest's layout, forcing people to walk in loops. Tanya suggests destroying the tree, but Rian asks if there is any way to nullify its magic instead. She says she can, but it will take time. As Kanade tries punching the tree, she suddenly stops when she hears a voice, telling them to leave this place. A fairy emerges out of the tree. They are stunned, as fairies are also an ultimate species, whose magic surpasses even the dragons. But they haven't been seen for over 200 years as humans exploited their lands and a war broke out between humans and fairies. The fairies went into hiding where humans cannot harm them, and now fairies distrust humans. When Rain tries introducing himself, she tells them to leave or else she will force them out with magic. They quickly retreat. Far from her, Tanya asks why the fairy was so hostile, as they are known to be friendly and kind. Rain agrees. It's strange for the fairy to show herself to a human at all, maybe because they disturbed the barrier. He wonders if her hatred of humans is so strong that they might even work with the monsters to protect the shield. Tanya says they're running out of time, and this time they'll have to fight her. He says that he wants to talk to her again, as he doesn't want to use force. The girls protest, but Rian is too nice for his own good. Next, he approaches the fairy again. She again asks him to leave this place, but Rian says he just wants to talk and means no harm to her or the forest, and threatens to attack. He says that she can do so if it will help gain her trust. As she summons her magic, he holds the girls back and knows he must take risks to help others. The fairy fires her arrows, but is surprised to see that he wouldn't run away, and she doesn't understand why he's doing this, because humans have invaded and destroyed their homes. He says that he isn't like those humans, and only hopes to earn her trust, but she thinks that he's deceiving her and fires again. But this time, Tanya and Kanade defend their master, and they tell her to trust him, as he is one of the kindest humans they've met and has saved them both. The fairy is surprised that two ultimate species are vouching for a human. She extends her arm, asking his name, and introduces herself as Sora. After hearing this story, she refuses to remove her illusion's magic, as they hide the entrance to the fairy village and she can't endanger her people. Tanya assumes monsters are there, but Sora clarifies that there have been monsters in protecting the shield. It has always been the fairies. However, she decides to give him the shield if it can help them defeat the monsters. Rian offers to repay her, but she refuses, saying she is only honoring a pact with the previous hero. She says that if their business is done, they should leave this place. As they walk away, Rian stops and returns, asking if something is bothering her. Whatever it is, he is happy to listen and help her. She hesitates, but Rian gently insists he wants to help, even if it's dangerous. Tanya says this is the kind of man he is, and Kanade says she should trust them, so Sora finally opens up. She has a younger twin sister, Runa, who used to protect the village barrier, but one day they left the barrier for a short time and encountered a giant shadow monster. They tried fighting it, but unfortunately they couldn't defeat it and Runa was captured. Shadow monsters can nullify magic. As fairies rely entirely on spells, they stood no chance. The monster told Sora it would release her sister if she broke the barrier. She refused and rushed to the village, seeking help, but they refused, saying she and her sister were responsible for stepping outside and had to suffer the consequences. She says that she understands her leader's point of protecting the village of her sister. She cries as she can't abandon her sister. Rian wipes her tears and says she doesn't have to suffer alone, and he promises they will help her and defeat the shadow monster together. Sora finally breaks down and hugs him. Next, we see the shadow monster and an imprisoned fairy. Sora urges them to hurry. She wants to come with them, but Rian asks her to wait here as it's safe. They finally spot the shadow monster and run a trap nearby. They run in. Rian launches a firebolt, although it is not effective. Kanade jumps high and kicks the monster, and then Rian follows with a punch. The monster asks if he is the hero, but Rian replies not to insult him like that. He then figured out they're here to rescue the fairy and throws his sword toward Runa. But Tanya blocks the attack and removes her shackles and carries her to safety. Rian and Kanade attack the monster and are happy that their plan worked. Enraged, the monster begins to spin around, creating a tornado. Rian tells Kanade he has a plan. He forms a circle and searches the forest for insects. He finds a swarm of bees and tames them, ordering them to attack. He isn't sure if they can hurt the monster, but it will be a good distraction. Then Rain casts a boost spell on Kanade. Feeling stronger, she rushed towards the monster and punched him in the stomach, creating a hole, eradicating him. After he vanishes, she asks what spell he cast on her. So, he tells her it's a simple beast taming spell that temporarily enhances a beast's physical abilities. Tanya reappears with the unconscious fairy and asks him how he learned the lost art of boost magic. Kanade celebrates with a victory dance. Runa wakes up frightened, but Rian reassures her. They're here because Sora asked for help. Back at the tree, the sisters reunite, hugging each other. Sora walks to Rian and asks how she can repay his kindness, and is grateful for their help. Rian doesn't know what to say. He thinks that even if they look the same, they're very different. He's glad they're able to save her. Sora decides to distance herself from her village that had abandoned them in their time of need. The twins worry about how they will survive in the real world now. Kanade offers to come along, and Tanya says that the decision belongs to Rain. He asks if they're willing to travel with a human. Sora says that Rian proved that not all humans are cruel, and she trusts him, so they will join their party. They ask him to make contracts with them. He wonders if he can tame a fairy, as no one in history has ever done that. Tanya says that she knows he doesn't give up, so he accepts the challenge of taming them. He cuts his finger, wondering what type of magic could help him tame them. After some thinking, he begins a taming ritual and encircles both of them using the bonding circles. His magical energy flows from his hands to theirs, forming the contract. They ask if the ritual is complete and look at the symbol on their hands, but Rain's energy is depleted, and he nearly falls down before the girls support him, saying they'll protect their master. Inside the hero's room, Rain stands in front of the hero's party while the girls wonder why they're hiding and decide to attack if something bad happens. Rian hands them the shield, and Arios doubts how he found the shield in 2 days. He accused him of bringing a fake one, but Rian says they can verify it. Mina casts her magic and confirms it's real. Arios asks who the new girls are. Rian says it is none of his business, thinking he can't let anyone know they're fairies, and asks for his reward. As he turns to leave, Agath offers him to rejoin their party. Arios freaks out, but Agath says that the last few days made him believe that they need his help, and the other members agree. Agath promises him to pay him better and treat him better. He realizes that they haven't changed and he was a fool to trust them in the past. Kanade reminds him of where he truly belongs, and Rian rejects their offer, realizing that the only thing he wanted was people who cared about him, and he'd found them. To the hero party, he's a fool to deny their offer and his chance to glory, and they don't need him anyway, and they left. But Arios couldn't forget the pain and humiliation Rian put him through, so he decides to kill him. Under the tree, the fairies wonder if only the hero can defeat the Demon King. Rian tells them that, as the Demon King is powerful enough to control everyone, the gods have blessed the first hero with their blood, giving him the power of the gods, which allows him to get stronger. The girls say then the current hero is weak. The fairies ask if he possesses the same power as he bonded with Kanade, gaining cat strength, then with Tanya, gaining dragon strength, and now with them, gaining the fairy magic, getting stronger. Kanade says that if he keeps on making contracts with more ultimate species, he will be strong enough to defeat the Demon King. The other girls agree that he will be better than the hero. He thinks that defeating the Demon King was the goal of the hero party, but when he was kicked out, he thought it was over. So he says that he will defeat the Demon King if he gets strong enough. However, he has not reached that level yet, so he can't decide instantly, and he made it here because of their help. He says that he will focus on overcoming his fear, and the girls promise him to help when the time comes, and they all will stand beside him. The next morning, Rian realizes their room is packed and wishes that another room would be available soon. Tanya says that since he has grown stronger, he should buy new equipment. He agrees, noting they have the money for it. As they walk into town, the fairies cling to Rian's arms, nervous around humans and worried about their identities being exposed. Two men approach Tanya, recognizing her from the bridge incident. Even though they feel embarrassed for losing to a girl, they respect her strength. Nearby, Kanade is with a lady and receives an apple for helping her in return. The twins are surprised by how well they get along with other people. Some children run up to them and tease Rain about having new wives. Sora clarifies that they're not his wives, while Rana almost reveals that they're fairies. But Sora and Rain quickly shut her mouth. Rain tells them it will take them some time to blend in. They arrive at the weapons shop, where a gruff dwarf impatiently tells them to hurry up. While Rian looks around, Runa calls him to show a whip, saying he can do all kinds of fun things with it. Sora gets embarrassed by her and starts beating her. Rian picks up a dagger. It looks good, but he notices something feels off. Just then, a man arrives at the shop and asks the dwarf for his best sword. The dwarf gives him a sword, and the man leaves satisfied. But Rian asks whether that sword was truly his best. Though it looks beautiful, it is made of weak materials, just like most of his other items. The dwarf bursts out laughing, as he is right that he forged these swords with normal materials with guys who don't know much about swords. However, he shows them the real swords he forged with all his heart. Rian is impressed by his craftsmanship and asks why he rips his customers then. He explains that most adventurers today believe buying shiny weapons will make them stronger, and they discard their old sword he made with his heart. So, as a real weaponsmith, he wants to give his good quality weapons to worthy warriors. Tanya agrees with his point. Surprised how Rian noticed the subtle differences, the dwarf praises his sharp intuition. Rian believes his beast taming experience has developed his senses in many ways. The dwarf is impressed, and he promises to forge a good weapon for him. As they celebrate, he admits he lacks the materials to craft a weapon. At the guild, and they find the hall usually crowded. Natalie reveals that the heroes' party is recruiting new members, and everyone is excited to join them for fame. The girls worry, but Rian gently pats their heads, saying he doesn't care about popularity. He already has the best allies. The fairies introduce themselves to Natalie. He asks her to approve a job that the dwarf assigned them. To mine mithril ore, the dwarf needs this rare element to make strong weapons. Although he has a mine full of them, he couldn't find them anymore, as if all of it had disappeared. Rian finds it suspicious that the ore has vanished, and the girls push him that he wants to go to the mine. The dwarf warns them it may be dangerous, but as adventurers, facing danger is their forte. They agree, and the dwarf asks about his payment, but Rian suggests he should cast a strong weapon for him instead of money, which deeply moves the blacksmith. They all cheer and begin their journey towards the mine, but the fairies are struggling to keep up with them. They are too tired to move, and Kanade mentions the sun is too hot. But Rian knows there is a lake nearby where they can rest. The girls ask if they can go in to swim, and he approves their request. He tames 2 squirrels to keep an eye on them while he naps. While having fun in the water, Kanade screams, waking up Rain. He runs towards them only to find out that Kanade's tail is bitten by a fish. The girls shout at him for seeing them without clothes. Mortified, he apologizes and swears to do anything. Tanya says he'll have to forget that this happened, as it was all an accident. They ask him if he wants to go swimming, but he passes up the chance. After some time, they reach the mine, but Rian tells them to stay hidden, saying the missing ore means someone must be stealing it. From above, they see an eagle who spots them and signals the guard, and two goons come out. Rian asks the girl to go easy on them as he wants to question them. However, they knock them out. Rian realizes he can't get answers now, and Sora says that they can use their power to peer into their minds and learn about what happened, as they activated their memory search ability, revealing that there is a large smuggling group that looks like adventurers, stealing mithril. They wonder if they are able to help him. Rian says they are, so they ask him to give them head pats like he gives Kanade and Tanya. When Rian begins patting them on their heads, they act very weirdly. Rian says that they need to be extra careful, as they already know that they are here. Kanade asks, but how is it possible? He explains that the eagle's movements were strange as it was tamed by a beast tamer. Inside the mine, the thieves wonder why their comrades haven't returned. Their beast tamer reveals that they have been defeated, so they have to prepare to attack. Rian and the girls enter the cave. A massive fireball heads towards them, but the twins use their magic to deflect it. The thieves try to attack them, but the twins trap them, nullifying their spells. When they try to shoot arrows at them, Tanya burns the arrows down, and they knock them down when they tie them. Rian faces the beast tamer. Rian tells him to give up, but he charges with a knife, so Rian knocks him out with a single punch. Then, the beast tamer calls his most powerful weapon. A behemoth bursts from the inside of the mine. It is a B-rank monster. Rian says that only a powerful beast tamer can control such a powerful monster. The thief reveals he had been training it since it was young and orders it to attack them. Rian dodges its attack, but the mine starts to collapse. He continues to dodge its attack and signals Kanade to evacuate the captured bandits. The girls take all the bandits out, and Kanade worries about Ren, so Tania sends her back. Inside, Rian is struggling to dodge its attack with the falling debris. When the behemoth is about to crush him, Kanade pulls him away. Rian forms a plan. He will distract the monster, while Kanade captures the beast tamer. The beast tamer says that they can't let anyone know they are stealing the ore, so they will have to die, and sends the behemoth to attack. Rian continues to dodge its attacks. However, the mine continues to collapse. Rian uses his fireball to attack the monster. Just then, Kanade managed to restrain the thief, but he still orders the behemoth to keep attacking. Its attacks made the mine to collapse more. While Rian runs to save himself, he doubts if he could defeat it, but he remembers that the girls believe him and he decides to end this. The behemoth is coming at him, but it freezes in space. The bandit tries to control the behemoth, but his magic vanishes. Rian says that he uses his power to override his contract and gain control because even though it is normally difficult to steal control from another tamer, he believes the words of his friends, and he can do anything. But the beast tamer shouts that it was he who tamed the behemoth and raised it. But his words only messed with the monster's mind and he charges towards him, and Rian has to attack it with a giant fireball that ends it, leaving only its gem when the dust settles. Rian explains that even if he raised the monster, he couldn't control its hatred of humans. Outside, the gang confess that they planned to steal the dwarf's ore as he sold them low-quality weapons. The dwarf says it is his fault that they decided to steal it, as he had been dishonest with his weapons and customers. He considers himself a failure as a craftsman by judging them. Rian says he might be wrong, but he still has time to fix it by using his passion, and only make the best weapons. These words comfort him, and he decides to make the best weapons and not to judge the customers. He begins by making him a weapon and asks what he wants. Rian wants a dagger and a gauntlet and whispers an idea in his ear. Later that night, Arios rejects another beast tamer, saying he can only tame one creature at a time, and asks if he can tame an ultimate species. The man says no beast tamer can tame an ultimate species. Arios says that he has failed because he is not capable of joining their party. As the man left, Mina realized that every person they failed was the strongest beast tamers in the country, but they were all rejected because no one is better than Rain. She worries they may never defeat the Demon King. She tries to confront him about it, but after Rian left, he has been unleashing his anger on all of them. She thinks she should endure it because he is the chosen one. He decides to stay longer in the town and asks her to rest. As she leaves, she tells him to rest too, as he needs all the strength to save the world. But before that, he needs to use the ring he's been hiding to kill Rain. The next morning, Rain goes to the guild and inquires about the ore thieves they caught. Natalie replies that they have been imprisoned for all the crimes they committed. When he comes out, the twins are there, and he tells them that the thieves have received harsh sentences. The twins try to cheer him up, saying that if he hadn't stopped them, they might have caused more damage than they already did. They walk around the town exploring while Kanade and Tanya sleep in the room. The twins ask about the hot dog and if they can try one. Rian bought them sausages, and they ate them. It was the best thing they tasted. When they are done, they ask Rian what special abilities he gained from his contract with them. Because Kande gave him increased strength and Tanya gave him increased magical powers, so they asked what ability he gained after making a contract with them. He says he hasn't noticed anything new. They say that they have proved to be failures, but he pats their heads and assures them that he doesn't need their magic, as he has them as friends. They ask why he trusts them, as they are abandoned by their people, and they are not as strong as Tanya or Kanade, but he still won't give up on them. He explains that with the heroes' party he wasn't confident enough and considers himself weak, so he worked as hard as he could to prove himself. But still they fired him and never considered him as their friend. But now he has got many amazing friends, and he's glad to have them. They both are precious to him. Even if they don't share any abilities, they feel happy now and have decided to go for lunch. But a mysterious man stops them and asks their names. They got intimidated by him and introduced themselves. The man is impressed by them and says that they will become his wives, shocking them. The twins say that he's disgusting, but the man only becomes more impressed. Rian asks who he thinks he is. He introduces himself as Edgar, the son of the Horizon Lord, and claims they must obey his royal commands. The twins refuse his offer, but he signals his guards to surround them and threatens to take them by force. Rian says he can try but will regret it, and Edgar tells the guard to attack, only for Rian to knock all the guards down. The guards warn Edgar that Rian isn't a normal man. Rian says that he will never hand over the girls. Edgar then orders his guards to point their weapons at the civilians, saying he'll use them to get what he wants, and demands the girls again. Rian assesses the situation and realizes it's impossible to save them all. The twins offer to save them using their magic, however that would reveal their true identities, forcing them to leave the town. So he wonders what else he can do and realizes a new ability. He casts multiple magic circles at once and shoots multiple fireballs, burning the guards. This new ability he gained from his bond with the fairies, and he tells Edgar to leave them alone, but Edgar swears revenge. The twins thank him, and all the civilians cheer for their rescue. However, an elder tells them to leave the town, as they are safe and should go far away. From a distance, Arios smiles and points his ring at Rain. Back at the inn, the twins tell them that because of their contract, Rain can now cast multiple spells at once. Rain and Kanade blame themselves for not being there to help. Rian says that the town people have told him that Edgar is evil, and he kidnaps women and locks them up to torture them, as he is the only son of the Lord, so he uses his power to silence the people. Tanya angrily says she'll burn the mansion to the ground so he never harms the twins or any other women. Rian says they need to be careful. He wants to save the people, but he is just a beast tamer. Kanade says that she knows he is thinking about leaving, but then they won't be able to help the people. Tanya says he knows what kind of person he is, as he wants to save everyone. The twins say that even if they fear humans, they will help him, so Rian decides they will save the city together. Later that night, the Lord tells Edgar to handle things, and the knight informs him that no complaints have been filed yet. He orders the knight to find Rain and bring him, paying him gold coins. When he left, Edgar remembers being humiliated by Rain and rings a bell. Then, a little girl appears, and he grabs her ear and begins to beat her, while she silently wishes someone would help her. The next morning, Rain and Kanade go to the Order of the Knights to report Edgar's assault, but the woman at the desk panics, and just then the knights appear, declaring there will be no investigation. Kanade argues, but Rain stops her. On their way back, Rian tells Kanade that the knights are covering up all the crimes that Edgar commits, so they won't help them. Kanade hears someone following them. It is a knight. She says that she wants to talk and apologize that she didn't intend to scare them. She introduced herself as Stella, the vice captain of the Knights. She knows about his bravery and how he defeated the most dangerous bandit group. She needs his help to bring order to the town, as most of the knights have become corrupted and covered up the crimes committed by the Lord's son, especially Gillette, their commander. She knows that with their help, they might be able to save the town. He asks Kanade, and she says that she is honest and wants to save people, so he decides to help. However, they will need proof of their corruption, and they team up with Stella's knights to execute their plan. Rian finally receives his new weapons from the dwarf. According to their plans, the knight arrived at the abandoned building. Gillette heard that this warehouse contains the proof of their dealings with the Lord. He orders his men to destroy the evidence before the people get to know about it and kill any witnesses. As they enter the building, the gates slam shut and are frozen by the twins. The knights fall one after another, thanks to the gauntlet Rian ordered from the dwarf. Gillette is the lone survivor, and he notices that Stella teamed up with Rian. Stella tells him that their allies have taken control of the Order of the Knights and asks him to surrender. She wants to end it herself, so she decides to face him, saying he has to pay for his sins. He began to slash her down. He suddenly throws his sword in the air, only to distract her and punch her down. He says that justice doesn't exist in this world and rushes towards him, slashing him down, saying they are not the same. She says that his greed has made him blind, and he has forgotten his duty. At his mansion, Edgar continues beating the girl upon learning the news that his corrupted knights had been arrested. But it didn't matter, as he has personal guards to save him. Just then, Arios appears at his window saying they have a common enemy, Rian. He warns that Rian has tamed multiple ultimate species and will take everything from him. So he gives him the ring, saying he can use it to kill Rian. Inside the little girl's memory, she recalls when she was happy, surrounded by people who cared about her. But now she is locked in a cage, wishing that someone would rescue her. Next, Stella and her loyal knights stand before the Lord's mansion. She demands that the guards let them inside to inspect the premises. The guards ask what happened to Commander Gillette. Stella tells that he has been arrested for corruption, and asks if they want to join them. Kanade and Tanya arrive and praise Stella for being brave and righteous. Realizing they have no choice, the guards call for backup, and soon 100 guards surround the girls. The girls had already expected this and prepared to fight. Edgar watches from his window, and the girls blow up the gate and enter. He looks at them and says they must be the ultimate species under Ren's control, and after he kills Rain, they will call him Master. Meanwhile, Rain infiltrated the mansion with the fairies. Runa activates her material search magic to locate the kidnapped people so they can evacuate them safely. Rian says they also need to find proof of Edgar's corruption. Runa detects the victims, but also detects a powerful source, like an ultimate species. Rian wonders what an ultimate species is doing here, so he tells the girls to rescue the humans while he goes after the power source. The girls worry it would be risky for him to go alone, but he reassures them that everything will be fine, and they will have to reveal their identities in front of humans. The twins say that they can handle it if he promises to take care of himself. Rian reaches a hallway and head toward the power source. When he opens the door, he finds the girl in a cage. He realizes she is an actual demigod and uses his healing magic to heal her wounds. He tells her that he's here to help and tries to comfort her, asking her name. The girl with teary eyes says her name is Nina and hugs him. She remembers when Edgar found her, but he couldn't touch her due to her shield, so he threatened to kill the children if she didn't come with him. She begged him not to kill them, and he gave her the slave collar and began beating her in front of the children, saying she would give him the power of the gods. Rian promises to help her, but she tells the slave collar cannot be removed. However, he asks her to trust him, and after analyzing the collar, he realizes he could use his beast taming power to break the sealing power, but he gets electrocuted on the first try. She begs him to stop, saying no one will miss her, but Rian says he and his friends would be devastated. Drawing on the strength of his 4 ultimate species, he shatters the collar's enchantment, freeing her exhausted. He collapses, and she asks him to be more careful next time. Outside, Stella's knights fight Edgar's guards while Tanya and Kanade easily defeat them. One guard orders the others to use the hostages, but multiple fireballs burn them down. The twins reveal they have already rescued the hostages, and now the girls can use their full strength against the guards. Edgar realizes that his army is failing. His father approaches him and asks what's going on. He says that he can hide while he destroys all the proof of corruption, without which they are safe. Inside the mansion, the girls find Rian carrying Nina. She's the power Runa detected, he explains. They are surprised that he rescued yet another girl. Kanade finds Nina's tail very fluffy. "We'll protect you now," she assures her. Stella thanks him and says they now need to find proof to arrest the Lord and Edgar. Just then, the Lord appears and wonders how they surpass the guards, but Rian restrains him. As the Lord collapses unconscious, Edgar activates Arios's ring. A Grim Reaper appears, scythe flashing, and strikes Rian down in an instant. Arios laughs as his plan is successful, and leave inside. Rian is still alive and the girls worry about him, wondering how he is still fine after being attacked by an instant death magic. Runa decides to cast a poison attack on him. The girls ask her what is wrong with her, and Runa explains that Rain's contract with 2 fairies gave him 2 abilities from them. The second one is the ability to nullify all status effects. Edgar watches them and wonders why Rain didn't die, and now his life will be ruined. He refused to help, but the ring's powers activate and feed on his soul, swallowing him. Rian knows that he has to stop it and attacks it with a powerful fireball, but the attack is ineffective on it, and from inside smoke starts to emit outside, and a demon comes out asking if they are the ones who reawakened him. Rian knows the demon as it was the one who killed his parents and destroyed the whole village. The demon says it will give all of them a painful and merciless death. The demon senses that there are many people nearby, so he flies toward the town. Rian wonders that he can't allow another tragedy and sees the girls assure her they'll handle it. He asks Stella to look after Nina even though Nina wants to go with him, but the girls assure her they'll handle it and she nods. As the demon reaches the town, he begins destroying it. Just then, Kanade kicks him from the sky and the demon notices Rain's group and mocks them. Rain swears he will kill him this time. Kanade launches herself towards a building to punch the demon towards Tanya, who knocks him away, and Rian uses his gauntlet to restrain him. Though the demon breaks free, it buys the twins time to cast their spell and attack him, causing an explosion. But the demon walks out of the smoke saying he would need reinforcements to even the fight, and from the ground a large number of monsters appear and rush towards them. The girls use their magical powers to finish all of them instantly. Although they were worthless, the demon reveals he can summon infinite servants and he knocks Kanade down. Rian and the fairies rush towards her and Tanya flies up to destroy the servants while the others try to heal Kanade. Tanya uses her fire breath to hold the demon's attack. However, he overpowers her, and she's blown away. Rian runs to see if she's okay, but she gets up, saying she's fine. Seeing the group still standing, the demon unleashes his magical energy to the sky, raining down explosions to burn the town. A furious Rian launches his fireballs towards him, and then the fairies cast a light spear to pierce his body. Just then, Rian uses his boost magic on girls to enhance their strength to fight the demon, and they rush towards him to beat him. Then, the fairies use their magic to let Kanade leap from the sky to knock the demon down. But as the dust settles, the demon is still standing, and with a snap of his fingers he summons hundreds of flying and ground beasts. He flies up, but Tanya uses her fire breath towards him, but his demons block it and tell them they can't stop him. Rian wonders how they can defeat him and save the town at the same time. The twins say they can transport the people to safety while they fight the demon. Elsewhere, the hero party discusses whether they should help the people, but Arios tells them they will not stand down, as he knows Rian can't survive now. Next, we see Stella and the knights fighting the monsters. The fairies approach them, asking them to bring all the people together so they can teleport them to safety. As they leave, the fairies tell Nina that everything will be fine and Rian will be here soon. Kanade continues beating the beasts while Tanya burns them away and asks the people to go somewhere safe. On the other side of the town, the knights have gathered the people, but realizing that the twins are fairies, they find it hard to trust them, as fairies hate humans. However, the man who gave them hot dogs asks them who was his hot dog. The girls say that they were tasty. He was glad, and step into the circle saying they're not so different. A girl remembers them, and the old woman thanks them for saving her. Then all the people step into the circle and they teleport them away. But the monsters find them, and the fairies decide to split and continue helping the people. As Kanade and Tanya continue to fight the monsters, and the other adventurers join the fight, revealing that Natalie sent all of them here from the Adventurers Guild to help them, and the dwarf brought them new weapons to repay Rain. So they created a passage for the trio to fight the demon. Rian thanks all of them and promises to save the town. On the other side, Sora continues teleporting people while Runa destroys the monsters, and Nina wonders how she can help them. She's been scared her entire life and wonders if she wants to be saved by others. When Sora is done teleporting the people, she realizes Nina is gone. In the town, Rian says that he is still away from the demon, and Tanya says that in her dragon form, she can be easily targeted. They wonder if the fairies' teleportation magic would work here. Just then, Nina runs to hug Rain, saying she can't run away as people risk their lives to save her, so she wants to help them. The girls realize that as Nina is a demigod, she is capable of instant teleportation, so Rian asks her if she can teleport him to the demon, and she says that she would. Just then a horde of beasts begin to approach them, and Kanade and Tanya promise to take care of them as Rian fights the demon. On seeing Rian coming towards him, the demon attacks him before he dodges his attack by using his gauntlet and continues dodging his attacks. As they get close enough to let Nina use her magic, she teleports him and together they fly close to the demon. Although the demon realizes it is the demigod he is using to fly, Rian boosts his own powers, but the demon says that his efforts are useless as he unleashes the monsters towards him. Rian reveals that his boost can do more than increasing the physical abilities, and he teleports close to the demon, sealing him away. However, the demonic aura begins swallowing him. He released that there are people counting on him. so he uses his taming powers to override the demon's control on the flying monsters. The demon can't believe that anyone can do this and asks him who he really is. Rian says he's just a beast tamer who has help from his friends. As the demon frees himself, Rian sends all the flying monsters towards the demon, ripping him apart. Before vanishing, the demon asks his name but he refuses to tell. However, Nina is too tired and they begin falling, only to be saved by Tanya and Khanade, and the others are waiting for him. As the sun rises, they have finally defeated the demon. 3 days later, Rian says that Stella has been promoted to captain and the corrupted knights and lords are being punished. The girls have been helping the people to rebuild the town and the fairies keep eating the hot dogs. Stella calls him a champion, but he replies he's just an average beast tamer and the girls laugh. That's all for today. If you like this anime, make sure to comment why and help us reach 1,000 likes. That way, we'll know you really want the next part.